All right. Today is what day is today? Today is my Saturday, October 10th. These are some of the visions that I had as I was praying yesterday morning on Friday, October 9th. In the first vision, I saw a large candle. It was actually the size of a lighthouse. It looked like a lighthouse at first. And it's positioned, of course, at the edge of a bay. And the flame at the top was flickering out toward the sea, but it wasn't going out. And then I turned my attention out toward the sea, and the water was receding away from me. So I realized that it was going to be a tsunami that was going to be coming in, and I saw this giant wave forming in the distance. And as the tsunami took shape, as the first wave took shape, I saw a second wave that was about 3 times as big as the first wave behind the first wave. Um, and at that time, the scene kind of paused. So like the waves were there, but they were paused. They weren't coming toward me. They were just staying there. And as they were paused, I saw a red flaming sword cut through the center of the waves, and a beast stepped out between the waves. It kind of looked like the beast from the Beauty and the Beast, except it was uglier, and it was a dark reddish black kind of thing. So it stepped through the waves, and it stared at the shore, um, and it smiled. So it was happy or proud or something. And after that, the waves unfroze and they crashed toward land. They kind of went around the beast at the time instead of actually, submerging it. And that was the end of that vision. Um, so for the second vision, I was in the woods and I saw a rundown cabin that was in the middle of nowhere. And I entered the cabin, and as I approached, there was a table on the inside, and on the table there was a bowl of oatmeal, and it was complete with raisins and brown sugar sprinkled on top. So as I looked at the oatmeal and I lifted the spoon, I realized that under the oatmeal were smooth rocks, kind of like the kind of rocks that you would find on a beach and stuff that you'd skip across the water and everything. They'd also make good slingshot rocks, for that matter. But the bowl was full of smooth rocks, and I had just a thin layer of oatmeal on top of it. So at that point, I looked around the cabin and I saw that there were weapons on the side of the walls, weapons and tools. There was a crossbow, and next to that, there was one of the long kind of saws that lumberjacks use when you have two of them on either side cutting down a tree. Beside the saw, I saw a chisel and I saw a mallet. At that point, I looked out the window outside, and in the far distance, I saw a light flickering, miles away. And it was just flickering bright, but as it was flickering, it was growing brighter, and the area surrounding the cabin and everything between me and where the light was started to grow dark. It was as if that flickering light was absorbing all the light in the area. And it finally got to the point where it was completely dark where I was, like complete darkness. There was no even reflection of the light, but I saw that the light was over there in the distance, flickering. It was the only source of light. So, and that was the end of that vision. And then the third one, I saw a long fuse kind of spooling along, and it was a long fuse, kind of like you'd find, with dynamite or something. And the fuse was lit on the end, and when the fuse lit on the end, the word Tishri came up. I think it was Yom Tishri, but Tishri is what I took away from that. And then as the fuse continued and burned, through these different loops, as it got to the different loop, it looped through Yom Kippur, and then it kept burning, and then it looped through Feast of Trumpets, and then at the end it reached Tabernacles. And when it reached Tabernacles at the end, it burned out. It was like it was completely snuffed out, and it just, smoked a little bit. A few seconds after it burned out, it reignited once again. It reminded me of like a trick birthday candle. It goes out and it's smoking, and then it suddenly starts up once again. When it started up once again, it was a sparkler instead of a candle. So it wasn't just a fuse and a wick. It was like a 4th of July sparkler, very bright, very active, very energetic. So, and those are the 3 dreams. No, they weren't dreams. The 3 visions that I had while I was praying yesterday. So I thought I'd send them up really quick today before too much time passes. So thank you once again. God bless you.